What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Alright, so for today's video, it's going to be a little bit different from my usual content. I'm going to be diving in more into my personal / career life. So for today, I'm going to be breaking down my 3-week internship that I spent at Montreal PC Support. That is the name of the PC repair shop. And so yeah, I just kind of like wanted to dive into what it's like to be an intern as an IT support, or just an IT in general. So if you are currently an IT student or thinking of joining the IT world, anything that has to do with technology, yeah, this video is for you. And also this is just for myself, for me to document, my journey and what I learned and what to expect as, an IT student. So yeah, let's get started. First things first, as you start, your first week or your first few days, obviously you're kind of just feeling it out. And this is really going to be your stage where you're going to be observing the most, where you're going to be learning a lot and absorbing a lot. So it's very important for you to take mental notes, but also to take it slowly. Know that you are in a new environment, so it's normal for you to be, learning and adapting. But already on my first day, I opened a MacBook Pro that was damaged with liquid. So obviously treatment with liquid damage. The guy was laughing. The customer was like, I dropped liquid or I dropped water on it and it's been a year. And I'm like, a year? And it's only now that you're bringing it. Anyways, there are all sorts of funny stories. But yeah. So this is where you're going to be diving into all things hardware. So make sure that you are comfortable with opening PCs, laptops, and if you're not, then that's also fine. I was not comfortable working with MacBooks. I'm okay with working with Windows laptops. I currently have my brother's old laptop, and which was passed down to my mom. And yeah, it's still working fine. I opened it recently. I fixed the hinge that was giving some problems to my family. And yeah, it boots up. I put Windows 11. You could see that it's like an older laptop, but it still works fine. So yeah, if she is thinking of switching the HDD for an SSD, I can always do that. I got my newer Lenovo in here, is a big boy. I can barely even carry that with one hand. Newer laptops. So familiarize yourself with laptops in general. You're gonna see that there are 90 million laptops in this world. Probably even more, probably less, I don't know. There are just a lot of laptops. Same thing for MacBooks. Don't think that they are simpler just because there are less. They are different, almost different in every year. You're gonna see by era, those that were working with Intel, and then now with the M1s to the M4s, they're all different in terms of the battery, in terms of just where things are located and how to disassemble them. So yeah, really that's like a big part of what you're going to be doing, is really just observing and really checking the flow of, laptops in general. So that's the hardware side. When it comes to the software side, I would recommend you familiarizing yourself with operating system installs. So whether it be Mac OS or Windows. So, just try to learn how to boot up and install these operating systems. Bring a USB key, or always have a USB key with you if it's not provided by, the shop, the company. It's always good to have one. It's always practical to have one of these. You can go crazy with these. You can, make them as bootable USBs. You could just do so much with USBs. So yeah. And familiarize yourself also with CMD, PowerShell, or just terminal. There's going to be a lot of times where you're going to have to insert some short lines. For example, if you want to do offline accounts for Windows, you're going to have to do that OOBE / bypass NRO. Yeah, you can tell that I've been doing a lot of those, so I remember it. Otherwise, just Google it. You're gonna end up Googling and chat GPTing a lot of things. So don't be ashamed or don't be scared to search and to, always double check, verify your information or your installation process. Another big thing is Open Core Legacy Patcher or OCLP. I've used these for installing newer OSs, newer Mac OSs on older devices. Now these are a little bit finicky. Now the software is amazing, but really sometimes the hardware is really slow. So I would really kind of just not force Mac OSs beyond what they're supported unless the customer is asking, or unless certain applications require you to have certain Mac OS versions. Only reason why. So really just make yourself comfortable with the software side, anything that has to do with Microsoft Suite, USB installations, like I said, CMD, PowerShell, and Terminal. Another point that I want to talk about is the work environment, just in general. Sometimes, it's going to be crazy. There are days that are very hectic, and there are days that are very slow. But as an intern, and also just as a future employee, it's really up to you to know your pace and not rush yourself. This is something that my supervisor taught me, and I think it's a practical thing for us just in general, like life in general. Don't rush certain things because you tend to make a lot of mistakes, or try not to multitask. Try to work on one thing at a time, finish it, and then jump into the next thing. And when there are days that are slow, use this time to ask questions, use this time to practice, to research. And this is the perfect time for you to learn, but also be patient. Patience is just everything. You need to be patient in life. You need to be patient at your job, especially as an IT, because there are going to be a lot of problems and a lot of things that are going to happen. And it's really up to you to manage your emotions, to manage what you know, and to manage what you can do. And sometimes you just have to bring it up to upper management, or give yourself some more time for you to learn and for you to also resolve the problem. This is kind of like a blend of soft skills and hard skills and the in-between skills. So this is a very, very big point. The next one is also a huge point: customer service. Now, this is where I feel a lot of people struggle with, just because customer service is not that easy, Personally, I never take things personal. So whenever people tell me things, yell at me, or say certain things, I'm not going to be affected by it. I don't really care. It's not that I don't care. It's because I know that people can be emotional and people can say things because they're stressed. Sure, maybe they shouldn't be saying those things, and I agree with you, but it's not the time for me to say you shouldn't be saying that. I'm there to serve them, first of all, and to offer them help. So if I can do that, de-escalate the situation if ever it does get to a certain point. And learn to say no, learn to say wait, and learn to take control of your environment, because you are the one that's working, you are the one that is in a professional setting, and you are also the one that's providing service. So make sure that you listen to people, try to give them some solutions, tell them that this is what they need. Use simple terms, because not everybody is knowledgeable with just the terminology in general. Communication is about building trust. So if you communicate well, there is guaranteed almost no reason for anyone to get mad at you or for them to mistreat you, because you are the one that is setting the tone. You are the one that is taking control. So customer service at your service. And another big thing that I want to talk about is self-evaluation. This is a big point because it's not easy for us to evaluate ourselves. And it's not easy for us to look in the mirror and to say, this is what I need to improve on. But it's always good for you to sit down even in life in general, for you to pinpoint what's wrong or what needs to be improved on. I personally have a hard time asking for help. I like to try to resolve it on my own, try to do it on my own, and sometimes my pride or my ego or whatever it is just doesn't want to ask for help. I'm just gonna research day and night. I'm gonna spend hours, days, weeks on something without even asking for help, when clearly I could just ask someone else or ask for someone's advice and it could bring me somewhere else. Who knows? So it's really about checking yourself in the mirror. And yes, I understand that we all have to learn and we all have to do things on our own sometimes, but there is also a time for you to ask for help. It could accelerate the process, and it could also, just make you learn some things that you're just unfamiliar with, right? Let's just be honest. We don't know everything. This is why we're here. This is why we're in this field. We want to grow and we want to learn more. So yeah, I hope you guys were able to learn something, and I hope this was a video that interests you guys. This is a little bit different for me since, I'm kind of like starting my career. And if you're preparing yourself to be an IT, or if you have an IT internship that is coming up, you could use this video as kind of like a guideline, or to kind of just like help you not be afraid, and to just help you in general. There's a lot of things that are involved when it comes to being an intern, first of all, but also just being in the IT field, where there's hardware, there's the software, there's the networking, there's the do's and don'ts, observing a lot, learning a lot, new environment. So yeah, this was new for me. This is very interesting, and in 3 weeks I feel that I've learned a lot when it comes to laptops, when it comes to dealing with customers, when it comes to knowledge, just basic knowledge, or even advanced knowledge. A lot of times I just Googled or ChatGPT certain things. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe, and if there are any things that you guys want to see in the future, drop them in the comment section below. If you just have questions in general, you can always ask me. And see you guys next time.